Committee, my dear colleagues, having listened to the litany of issues laid out by the Honorable Minister of State and the very emotional report and detailed briefing that we have all received from the co-chair who led the House Committee on a visit, an oversight visit to our missions. And we've all listened to the very pitiable, the report he has given about the pitiable conditions under which they operate. And this has further been confirmed by what Mr. Chairman has also said in terms of what he knows as a person. Mr. Chairman and my dear colleagues, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its officers are the chief marketing officers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs exists to enable us project national power as a leading black nation and leading black democracy. And if it is not enabled, if it is not supported, if it is not funded, if it is not enabled to play that critical role, then that is a disservice to the ideals upon which our nation has been founded and continues to exist. Officers of the Foreign Affairs posted out are the public relations officers, first public relations officers, frontline officers. They are chief investment and economic marketers of our country. If Mr. President visits any nation, even when he leaves, that is commendable, but who are the officers there that will drill down and then translate those broad plans and objectives and diplomatic initiatives into practical terms that can be interpreted to mean an enhancement of our national honor and national power, and then also to give effect to economic diplomacy. That's why they exist. So, Mr. Chairman and members, listening to all of this is very pathetic. Mr. Chairman, last year when these budget estimates came, we raised these concerns, and our expectation in the committee was that they would have been addressed, at least by now. And I was looking forward to a favorable report. But to sit down here and look at these estimates for 2025, and we are still seeing not even that things are the way they were last year, but that actually things have gone far worse. Our officers outside now are ejected. Some of them can't pay school fees. Some of them are sending SOS messages back home to Nigerians, their relations here, their friends, for them to have support, financial support, to enable them survive. We have listened to reports about rents not being paid for our missions and services not paid for and ensuing litigations. Mr. Chairman, this is as low as we can go. Furthermore, in the next 4 months, this administration will be 2 years. And it is sad, and I think we should point that out. It is sad that up till now, Mr. President has not deemed it fit to appoint ambassadors who will lead the diplomatic offensive around the world on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What ambassadors do, consular officers charging their affairs can't do, because they don't have the accreditation.
They can or can't?
They can't. They can't. Because they are not accredited. They are not recognized or function as such. What it means, therefore, is that there has been a diplomatic vacuum, even as it continues. So when you put all of this together, Mr. Chairman and my dear colleagues, I move that in the light of all of this, we need to send for the Minister of Foreign Affairs himself. That this joint committee should invite or summon the Minister of Foreign Affairs with his counterparts, the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Budget and National Planning, who should also come with the Director General of the Budget Office, so that, as the co-chair rightly said, we can interrogate the basis. Yes, by the Constitution, the power to appropriate resides in the National Assembly, and we're going to exercise that power, and we shouldn't shy away. If we have given them sufficient time and they have not done so, and the national interest is in jeopardy, then this is one instance that our power to appropriate in the national interest should be invoked. And we shouldn't shy away from that. So, Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn these proceedings. We should discontinue further consideration of the budget estimates by the ministry and all the agencies thereof. The reason is that even all these other agencies are grossly underfunded, and they've all been set up for specific purposes to advance the national interests. If Nigerian missions don't stand up, what it means is that even at the continental level, there is a diplomatic void. That's what it means. Because if you don't have Nigerian ambassadors, if you don't have Nigerian missions, well-funded, well-enabled, to perform their role as the leading diplomatic missions for the black race, for the African continent, then it means that there's a diplomatic void, and we should step in to correct that. So I move that we summon the aforesaid officers, and at that meeting we should consider fully the estimates and get their reactions and interrogate the basis upon which these estimates were arrived at, particularly vis-a-vis the provisions in the MTEF, which co-chair has said is what should inform budgetary estimates. We know budgets are estimates, but then it should make sense. And the budgetary estimates should not just make sense, they should align with our national priorities. And if funding and equipping and supporting and enabling our foreign missions, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to carry the Nigerian flag, and by so doing, the African flag diplomatically, enable us project power. If we don't do that, then I think we'll be failing in our duties to our country. So I so move.